Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history destination genre of black music, right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show. And this lady that I'm about to introduce is a singer who can sing opera and jazz. She is also an actress representing the stage. She is also a model, an author, and an activist. She has new music which is available now on SoundCloud, and you can check out all of her music videos available right now on YouTube. And I got a chance to download her new song, Chasing Rainbow, which is available right now streaming on iTunes. So please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get this right. Marie-Claire Giraud.
Thank you so much, Samuel, for having me.
Yes, as I said, it's hard for me to pronounce different names, so you have to forgive me. But
No problem.
again,
No problem. Thank you.
welcome to my podcast. It's a pleasure
Yes.
to have you here. And we're going to have a wonderful conversation.
Yes,
So,
we are.
yes, because America doesn't know who you are, the world doesn't know who you are. So, I am very delighted to have you here on my show.
Thank you.
Okay, so without further ado, let us begin, shall we?
Yes.
Now, where were you born?
I was born on the island of Dominica in the Caribbean.
Hmm. Now, how far is Dominica? Is it near the Dominican Republic or Jamaica or Haiti?
No, it's actually between Guadeloupe and Martinique. It is closer to South America than it is to the United States or Puerto Rico. So it's way down in the Caribbean.
Okay. And how old were you when you have moved to the Bronx?
I was 4 years old when my mom moved my brother and I. After she divorced my dad, we moved to the Bronx, where my grandmother was already living.
Mm. And how many years have you been living in the Bronx, New York?
Well, since I was four, it's been quite a while, over 20 years at least.
So, as for me, I live in the Bronx, New York, but I wasn't born in the Bronx, New York. I'm originally from the village of Harlem,
Oh, lovely.
home of the world famous Apollo Theater, the Studio
Yes.
Museum in Harlem, and yes, Harlem Week, which I go home every August for my Harlem homecoming. Now, I meant to ask you, what section of the Bronx have you lived in?
The section of the Bronx that I was raised in is the East Bronx. It's Elder Avenue, which is along the 6 train line near Soundview, Castle Hill, Parkchester.
Oh, okay. So I'm no stranger to that area because my late mom had some friends living in Morrison Avenue and
Okay.
some on Lafayette Avenue right off the Bronx River Parkway.
Right.
And one time we did lived in Parkchester back in the early 70s. So I'm no stranger to that section. Now, were your parents in the music industry or they did had 9 to 5 day jobs?
My parents were not in the music industry at all. My parents loved music, but neither of them were musical at all.
Now, which high school did you go to?
I went to Cathedral High School in Manhattan. It's an all girls Catholic school, parochial school.
And which college did you go to?
I went to Brooklyn College,
And what was your major in college?
archaeology and English lit.
Okay. Now, who did you want it to be when you grow up?
Well, I wanted to be an archaeologist when I grew up until I discovered that I had this voice and I wanted to pursue music. And I was introduced to singers like Ella Fitzgerald, Dinah Washington, Sarah Vaughan, Nancy Wilson, Leontine Price, and that opened my world to the world of jazz and opera, and I've never looked back.
Now, how old were you when you started singing?
I was in my early 20s. I mean, I was singing all my life. My mom says that I sang before I spoke. So it's like I've always been singing. And because of that, I thought everyone could sing until I realized that everybody definitely could not sing.
And how old were you when you started writing songs?
I've always been writing. That's the thing. I've always been writing. From the time I was a little girl, I was writing stories and little poems. So writing was always something that I was always doing.
And how old were you when you started acting?
Acting came relatively late, up until a few. Well, in opera, you're actually acting because opera is a play set to music. So I didn't even realize it when I was doing it, but I was already acting, which came quite naturally. So that just led me into auditioning for a play that my acting teacher submitted me for, and I got it, which was Tennessee Williams, which was my first play.
Hmm. Now, how old were you when you started writing plays?
It was during the pandemic about a couple of years ago that I wrote my first musical, which is Charcoal.
Was being a singer and songwriter and being an actress your calling?
I would say being a singer is my calling. And after that, being just an all around creative person.
Okay. Now, who were your favorite singers and actresses growing up?
Leontine Price, for sure. Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman. Ella Fitzgerald is the reason why I sing because she's my favorite singer just across genres, just incredible. I can't imagine what it must have been like for Ella Fitzgerald in the 40s, 50s, 60s to be a black woman um, in America. That could not have been easy. I have no idea what that would have been like. But when you heard her sing, you never heard any oppression. You never heard any sadness unless it pertained to the music. You just heard effervescence and joy and her incredible musicianship and love of singing. So I really gravitated to her greatly.
And who were your musical influences that had inspired you to
Um,
sing?
Ella Fitzgerald, Leontine Price, Sarah Vaughan, Dinah Washington, Marian Anderson, Kathleen Battle again, Shirley Verrett, Grace Bunbury. I mean, there's so many. Patsy Cline. There's a cornucopia of ladies that I look to, and as well as men. Johnny Hartman is one of my favorite male singers ever, as well as Frank Sinatra and Nat King Cole.
Mm. Now, have you participated in any talent shows while you were attending schools in the Bronx, New York?
No, actually, I never attended any talent shows at all. I was put into my all girls school choir because I had a good voice. I didn't think that was anything special because me and my girlfriends, we all could sing and carry a tune. Um, but no, I never pursued any talent shows growing up.
Okay. Now, before you got your big break, did you had a day job? And if so, what day job did you have?
Oh, I've had many day jobs. I've worked at many record stores when they were open in the city. Um, I was an admin, administrative assistant. I was a manager of a restaurant, the reservations office. I did many corporate level hospitality positions.
Now, how old were you when you started singing or doing opera?
This started in my early 20s when I saw a performance of Mozart's Don Giovanni, and it suddenly it just exploded upon me that that's what I really wanted to do. Of course, I love jazz. I love singing the Great American Songbook, but there's something about opera that is just it to be able to sing that music, it's an incredibly powerful, moving experience. To be able to hone your craft, control your instruments in order to sing Verdi, Puccini, Mozart. There's nothing else like it.
And what opera plays had you appeared in?
I have been in, let's see, Puccini's Suor Angelica, Puccini's Gianni Schicchi, Carmen, Samson and Delilah, and Strauss's Electra.
Now, have you performed at Carnegie Hall or at the Met at Lincoln Center, or did you perform both?
I have performed at Carnegie Hall twice as a soloist. Last
Okay.
year, in fact.
Oh, okay. Because I'm no stranger to Carnegie Hall or the Met at Lincoln Center.
Yes.
I don't usually go into the buildings, but I'm no stranger to the area. So when I think of Carnegie Hall, I would think of classical music,
Yes.
the orchestras, and the operas and jazz.
Yes.
And also at the Met at Lincoln Center, it's known for the operas. So I wasn't
Yes.
into the operas, but I was intrigued by some of the singers when you have that high pitched note and everything. So I'm no stranger to that.
Wonderful.
Now, I got a chance to check out your music videos on YouTube, which includes
Yes.
Chasing Rainbows. And I was
Yes.
thinking about that song, the other one. But since you had responded to my email, I you was telling me that you wrote your version of Chasing Rainbows. So every time I
Yes.
think of the song, I thought, did she do the remake? Or I was thinking about that other song by classic soul group Blue Magic. So what was it like doing your song Chasing Rainbows?
Well, I wrote Chasing Rainbows in response to the fact that one, we should never give up on our dreams, no matter what. And no matter how hard life gets, because we always have good times. But how can you appreciate the good times if you don't have bad times? So you can never give up, ever give up on your dreams. There'll always be dark clouds. There'll always be thunder showers and clouds and rainy days. But at the end of all of that, there will always be a rainbow after all of the storms. So you can never give up on your dreams, ever. And that's what Chasing Rainbows is all about, keeping the
Okay,
dream alive.
right. And the other video that I saw on YouTube is the opera, and I'm going to get this name right. It's Tu Che Di Chel Se Senta. And I think it was done by Puccini. Is that correct?
Puccini wrote that for his opera Turandot.
Okay. Now, what was it like performing that song?
It's an incredibly moving song sung by the character Liu. And in this aria, to Kedigel, she's talking to the princess, which is Turandot, and she's saying, you who have everything, you are who are made of glass, made of ice. You know nothing about love. And Liu basically sacrifices herself to save somebody else. And she's an incredible character.
Okay. Now, while you're not on tour, you've been a model, an author, and an activist. Now, how did you juggle those things while you wasn't on tour or performing?
Well, I don't find it difficult to juggle because in life you have to balance many things out. Um, but I find being an activist is extremely moving and powerful to me, because I feel that we should always support our children. I think children are the most um, marginalized and the most fragile of us. And they deserve all of our protection, all of our care, and all of our love. And I feel very strongly about protecting them and giving them a platform where they can perform, where they feel that they can strive and be the best that they can be, and to be anything that they want to be.
Now, what was it like being a model? Because I've seen so many models who also either comedians or actresses. What was
Yes.
it like doing being as a
It's
fashion model?
actually so much fun. It's actually so much fun because not to put not to say anything bad about modeling, but after singing opera or singing jazz or being in a play and have to memorize so many lines, it's like it's wonderfully lovely to just stand in front of a camera and have someone take pictures of you in wonderful clothes. It's fantastic.
Wow. And you are also an author. Have you written any books?
I have written. I'm a songwriter, and I wrote my play, my musical Charcoal, and I'm also in the process of writing my screenplay Mary Before Magdalene, which is the backstory of Mary Magdalene.
Very interesting. Now, as a screenplay, tell us what was, like doing the version of Mary Magdalene for those of the audience that may not know.
Mary Magdalene is one of the disciples of Jesus Christ, and she's basically one of his 12 apostles. She can almost be called the 13th apostle, and I always was intrigued by this character because she was not the prostitute which many people, believe that she is, which the Catholic Church actually retracted many decades ago. But she was this wonderfully powerful, intelligent woman that was basically the right hand for Jesus. And I was always intrigued by her story. So I created the backstory for her.
Okay. Now, here's a question that I always ask my guests: living
Yes.
or dead, which artist or actress or activist you wish you wanted to meet?
Ooh, Ella Fitzgerald. I would love to have met Ella Fitzgerald. She was just everything, everything. I got a chance to see her perform at Carnegie Hall, one of her last performances. And it was the most inspiring performances that I have ever seen. I mean, she was towards the end, she sang in a wheelchair, but you would never have known that this woman was ill because she sang with so much joy. Again, that boundless effervescence.
Okay. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who is the top 10 R&B black artist of all time. And since I have you on my show, we're
Yes.
going to do the top 10 jazz and opera singers of all
Well,
time.
well, don't take me out of the R&B, but because
Okay.
number
I'll
one,
okay.
number
I'll
one,
put that in there too.
yes, number
Okay.
one is Whitney Houston.
Okay.
Absolutely. Whitney
I'll,
Houston, Whitney Houston is the top five actually.
okay.
And then
All
Luther Vandross is just sublime. That's my number one, number two. After that, yes.
Now,
Yeah.
as I was saying,
Yes.
here's how it works. We do it like a top 10 countdown, like the
Yes.
show America's Top 10 hosted by
Yes.
Casey Kasem. We will
Yes.
start at the bottom 5 and we will figure out who was the best singer but didn't get any recognition. That will be the bottom 5. And
Ooh.
then when we get to the top 5, we'll figure out who was the top 5 singers of all time. That artist had their albums gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum or diamond platinum. Did that artist had those top 10 or number 1 hits? Did that artist receive a Grammy or an American Music Award or a Soul Train Award or a BET Award or an MTV VMA Award? Or did that artist was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Or did that person performed on American Bandstand or Soul Train or The Midnight Special or NBC Saturday Night Live or Solid Gold or some of the other local shows, or did they perform on PBS's Great Performances, or did they had their own special on PBS during Pledge Month, or did they had their own primetime special on CBS or NBC or ABC, or did they had that live concert special airing on HBO and Showtime? So you did mention the first two, Whitney and Luther. So normally we do it backwards, but since you had the top two, we'll just put Whitney at number one, the princess of pop who has an angelic voice.
Absolutely.
And she made her debut back in 1984 with the late Teddy Pendergrass, Hold Me in Your Arms. And then she had her self titled debut LP, which had sold over 1 million copies in print, went platinum. She won an American Music Award and a Grammy Award for Best New Artist. She had those top 10 hits nonstop. She had various producers, including Narada Michael Walden and Kashif, and just to name a few, she had other top 10 albums and singles. And she is best known for doing remakes of The Greatest Love of All, number
Yes.
one, back in the summer of 1970, oh, excuse me, 1986, and also a remake of Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You,
Yes.
1992, from the movie The Bodyguard. And yes, she did her acting debut in the movie The Bodyguard and also Waiting to Exhale and The Preacher's Wife, which is the
Yes.
remake of The Bishop's Wife.
Yes.
So that will be Whitney Houston. Number two was Luther. Yes, the one and only Luther Vandross. And he once was a backup singer for David Bowie and many
Yes.
others. And he was in the group called Change with hits including The Glow of Love and Searching. Went on his own 1981 with his debut LP, Never Too Much. Had some
So good.
other hits
Mm.
including Bad Boy Having a Party and others, Stop to Love, Gimme the Reason, just to name a few. He is best remembered, best known for doing jingles for commercials. And back then, I was watching a clip on YouTube, an episode on Sesame Street on PBS. And I was watching the group, and they had the song called Count to 20. And then there saw Luther. I said, Luther Vandross in that group on Sesame Street?
Yes. Yes. I saw
Oh,
a documentary where
wow.
I saw that.
I would never know back then. So when I was watching the episode back then, they do clips from other previous episodes. But when I watched it on YouTube, Luther in that group? Wow. So I would never knew that he would be in that group and went on to superstardom. Wow. So rest in peace to Whitney Houston and Luther
Luther.
Vandross. Okay. Number three.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald. Yes. Best known for her songs of jazz and all types of jazz. But she'll be best remembered for that Memorex commercial
Yes.
when
Is it
she hit
live or
that
is it yes
high.
when she broke the glass?
Yes. Is it
Yes.
live or Memorex? Shatter
Yes.
that glass.
Yes.
Yes. So known for her songs Tisket, a
Get a
Tasket.
tasket.
And I saw her in that movie called Ride 'em Cowboy with Abbott and Costello. Made
Yes.
that appearance in that
Yes.
movie. Yes. So rest in peace to Miss Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Okay, yours at number four.
Johnny Hartman.
Johnny Hartman. I heard that name before. Was he
Yes.
jazz?
A jazz singer. Yes, he has one of the most incredible jazz albums ever. Ever, ever, ever. Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane. The most incredible jazz. If you have not heard this album, just download it. It is a must for any collection. Whether you're a jazz lover or not, you put that on and you're like in heaven.
Okay. John Coltrane, I know, because
Yes.
I have a couple of albums, including the song My Favorite Things. He did it
Yes.
his way, jazz style, 13
Yes.
minutes tops.
Yes.
And another song that I like was called In a
The
Sentimental
Mental
Mood.
Mood. Duke Ellington. Yes.
Yes. And that song was used in one of the episodes of The Cosby Show. So when
Okay.
I heard that, I went to either FYE or some other HMV, and they had the standards on Impulse, all the
Yes.
various artists. And when I played that song in a sentimental mood, I said, that was the one from the Cosby Show. I said,
Show. Yes.
yes. So John Coltrane and Johnny Harper, we'll put that at number 4. Okay, who should be at number 5?
Sarah Vaughan.
Ah, the divine one,
Yes.
Sarah
Sassy.
Vaughan.
Yes.
Yes, she's known for singing low, go doo dow, doo dow, doo
Yeah.
dow. Known for her low voice and
Lush
everything.
voice. Yes.
Yes, representing New Jersey, Sarah Vaughan.
Yes.
She was known as the divine one. So rest in peace to Miss Sarah Vaughan. All right, who should be at number 6?
Nancy Wilson.
Miss Fancy Nancy
Nancy.
Wilson. And no, we are not related. And she is known for her jazz and easy standards or adult contemporary songs. She's known for her songs including How Glad I Am, Guess Who I Saw Today,
Today. Yes.
and she's known for some of her remakes in the 70s, including her remake of the Stylistics' You're as Right as Rain and The Emotions' Don't Ask My Neighbor. And she had some other tunes teamed up with Dave Grusin. She had a song called Now and some other jazz tunes as well. And she did a little acting too. She was in an episode of Room 222. It was
Okay.
aired on ABC. And she was on an episode of The Cosby Show as
Oh, wow.
well on NBC. So she did a little acting chops here and there. So rest in peace to Miss Fancy Nancy
Nancy.
Wilson. Okay, we're up to number 7.
Nat King Cole.
The one and only Nat King Cole, jazz singer, piano player. He can sing jazz. He can sing easy standards.
Yes.
Everything. He had some hits, including Unforgettable, was later
Mm-hmm.
re-recorded again with her
Yes.
daughter Natalie. And also, Oh, When I Give My Heart. And he'll be best remembered for the Christmas song,
Yes.
which every December, every Christmas, every radio station, whether it's top 40 or jazz or black radio stations, they will play his song
Yes.
every single December, every Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, and he's also known for other summer songs, including That Lazy, Hazy, Crazy Days of Summer.
And also Route
That
66.
Yes, get your kicks on Route 66.
66.
And the other song that I liked was called That Sunday, That
That summer.
Summer.
Yes.
Yes, so we'll put Nat King Cole at number 7.
Yes.
All right, who should be at number 8?
Leontine Price.
The one and only Leontine Price. I never know who's this opera singer was, but
Yes.
then we was listening to songs from Porgy and Bess, and I saw a
Yes.
picture of her. I was in music class, and they was playing the song. So growing up, I never knew who she was, but then I was watching some of her clips, including the one when she was performing with the NBC Orchestra. And I was at the Museum of Television and Radio, which is now called the Paley Museum in New York City. They were showing Black History Month. And they were showing an episode of Leonone Price performing with the NBC Orchestra. And she was the first African American opera singer performing on television, prime time or late night with the NBC Orchestra. And that was history first. And yes, she did a PSA for the United Negro College Fund, which I love so much. And
Yes.
yes, I've seen her performing on the Grammy Awards as well. So we've got Miss Leonone Price at number
Leontine Price.
Leontine, yes, Leontine Price at number
Yes.
8. All right, who should be at number 9?
Marian Anderson.
Ah, yes, the one and only Marian Anderson. When I got a chance to see some of her clips when she was performing at the nation's capital in Washington, D.C., you can hear her voice, falsetto, high octave range, powerful vocals. And there was a clip when she was performing on NBC radio back then. So every time when I look at those pictures, especially when I go to the museums, and they had that exhibit at the Smithsonian's History of American History, that was they had that entertainment exhibit. They were
Hmm.
showing all of the history of entertainment from movies, television, Broadway, music, everything. Every time when I look at that entertainment exhibit, there's a picture, Marian Anderson
Yes.
performing at the nation's capital.
Yes.
So it was a wonderful time when I go to the Smithsonian's Museum of American History. That's best known for Archie Bunker's chair of All in the Family.
Right.
But when every time when I see tourists saying like, "Pardon me, where can I find Archie Bunker's chair?" and a
Yeah.
park ranger will say, "The Smithsonian's Museum of American History." Boom, and that's they will go. So rest in peace to Miss Marian Anderson.
Yes.
All right, who should be at number 10?
At number 10, let's see. Frank Sinatra.
Oh, Blue Eyes, the chairman of the board, the late
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra, singer, actor. He's all the way around, all year round. He can sing jazz, easy standards, pop, you name it. He is
Yes.
best known for all of his hits. Luck Be a Lady Tonight,
Fly.
Strangers
Yes.
in the Night, The Summer Wind.
Come Fly with Me.
Yes, Come Fly With Me. Oh man, those songs that I like. And when I once worked at AM 1460 WVOX in New Rochelle, New York, that's the station where they play none other than Frank Sinatra.
Wonderful.
So when I was filling in for someone, I would pull out some of the albums from Frank Sinatra. I will play some of them. And not only that, when Christmas time comes on the Christmas Eve ship, I'll pull out some of Frank Sinatra's Christmas LPs. So whether I see him perform, but I will remember him when he'll be guest appearing when he had his own variety show on CBS,
Yes.
or when
Yes.
he
Yes.
made his guest appearances on the Dean Martin show on
Yes.
NBC, as well as the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. Or yes, maybe he'll pop in on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson on NBC.
Right.
So he'll be best remembered for that. So Grammy Award winner,
Oscar
Achievement
winner.
Award. So when I was watching the Grammys back in 1994, back in February, when he received his Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, I said he got his dues. But then all of a sudden, the music was playing, gotta go to commercial. I said, yo, let the man get his props. This was
Right.
his time.
Right.
You can't cut through the commercial. This was
Yes.
his time.
True.
And then by 1998, he received an American Music Award of Merit. So he got those two things before he passed away in
Yes.
1998. And back then at WVOX, who was playing all of the music of Frank Sinatra
Yes.
nonstop all weekend. So I had to put that in there. And yes, he had his own live special on ABC called
Yes.
Frank Sinatra, the main event, live at Madison Square Garden. I saw the special on ABC, and I even have the TV soundtrack CD as well. So we're putting Old Blue Eyes, chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, at number 10.
Wonderful.
Well, Mary Claire, thank you so much for being
Thank you
here
for having me.
on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure talking with you,
Thank you.
and it's been a pleasure. And
Just to let people know that I have a show coming up at 54 Below, which is on Sunday, April 6th at 7 p.m. It's called From Harlem to Hollywood, the songs of Irving Berlin and Duke Ellington.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for the quick plug, and please come on back. We love to have you back.
Thank you
And
so much for having me, Samuel.
okay.
Take
Now,
care.
before we go,
Yes.
where can we follow you for any upcoming events? You just mentioned the quick plug, but where can we follow
Yes.
you on social media?
So social media is my Instagram, which is at Marie-Claire. So it's MARIE underscore Claire, CLAIRE+. That's at Instagram. And on my website, which is Marie-Claire Giraud.com.
Okay. Download all the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black
Yes.
Soul Music Experience podcast.
Yes.
Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. Make sure you follow Marie-Claire Giraud. Look
Yes.
for her on Instagram. Make sure you check out her music. It's available now on SoundCloud. Check out her music videos on YouTube and download a couple of her songs, which is available right now streaming on iTunes. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe by going to the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s. Don't forget to add the S at the end, -studio. And yes, I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you have a hard time getting onto riverside.fm, then please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And don't forget, folks, this episode will be on YouTube. Make sure you go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience.
Thank you.
Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s -studio. And don't forget to check out my audio podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And also check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Visit facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And you can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, parting, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless. Thanks for listening, have a good week, and please be safe.